When was the last time you spoke to Rodman? What's your relationship like with him now?
It's good. It's sporadic. It's funny. I forgot the last time I talked to him on the phone. It was probably, I don't know, maybe about 9 months ago or so. But you always forget that Rodman's way of ending phone conversations is that he decides at some point in the conversation that it's over and hangs up with zero warning.
Really?
And, I used to, kind of factor that into the process. But, when you don't talk to him as much, it always catches you off guard. And, one thing that was fun is that, and Rodman, people don't understand, the sensitivity sometimes. He's, he wants to please. When he's got a great BS detector, so if he thinks you're full of it, he tunes out. But if you're someone that he wants to connect with, he's there's kind of a sweetness about him that I think some people miss. So as the Warriors started getting really good, he and I talked a couple times about him showing up to a game, or both of us going to one of the finals games, maybe on the road, and we tried to kind of connect that a couple of times. But at one point, he called me, and my daughter Natalie was in the car, and I think I put her on speaker. And there's this photo I posted recently from that same trip I referenced to Chicago to do the story with Steve, where he's walking out. He emerges from the locker room. He's wearing this top with gold sequins and all this stuff, and she's kind of pulling at his top. She's 6 months old, mesmerized by the shininess, and he's literally trying to hand her a can of beer for laughs. But it's one of the SI photographers took the shot. It's a great shot. So he started talking to Natalie and got kind of emotional, and we took him way back. Well, Natalie, it turned out, went to Cal. And Maddie Kerr, Steve's daughter, was a volleyball star there a year ahead of her, and they became friends as adults. And they were at a party one night and jokingly flipped off the camera and sent me the picture. And I think Maddie actually sent me the picture. And so at one point I sent it to Dennis, after we had spoken, just to kind of go, hey, look, dude, it's little Maddie and little Natalie. And he called me as soon as I sent it, kind of all upset, and he thought they were flipping him off and wanted to know what had happened. And I was like, no, it was a joke. They're flipping me off, and I kind of had to talk him down. So I really listen. I'm really touched by some of the things he did for me at the time. I was a young Sports Illustrated writer. I wrote that cover story. There were some outrageous quotes in there, and subject matter that was not generally talked about in SI. He went on David Letterman right afterwards. I know he had been advised by someone very close to him to deny everything in the story subsequently, that was the best strategy. And David Letterman, who was the biggest thing in the world back then, asked him point blank twice, held up the magazine. He said, does this accurately represent you? Did you say these things? And both times he just unflinchingly said, absolutely, it was a great story. I love it. And so, I'll always remember that when the heat really got turned up, he stayed true to the process, and he frustrates the heck out of me, like he does a lot of people. I would liken it to, it's like your best friend when you're 10. It's the greatest thing, but sometimes you need to have an emotionally developed conversation, and you want to strangle him, but lovingly so. So I got nothing but love for Dennis, and he's a work in progress, but he's done a lot of cool things.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.